there's nothing quite like the roller coaster that is Mike Babcock. So we've already heard names like Laviolette tied to the Capitals for their head coach search. Apparently this week, again from headlines, Gerard Gallant has been interviewed for that job.
Yeah.
That'd be my front runner. And apparently, so is Mike Babcock.
Bring back the Bab socks.
I don't know.
They'd be red. They'd be red.
I know they'd be red now. We can't use the Leafs one anymore.
I don't think he'd be terrible. See, this is what's really, I was thinking about this. It wouldn't be the worst hire. Though I'm thinking about it, like they would have to pick up his or a percentage of his salary. And I'm thinking, man, so you're gonna give that salary to Babs, but you couldn't work it out with Trotz, who is now going to the conference finals?
Oh, it looks awful.
Mm-hmm.
It looks devastatingly awful that you didn't give that money to Barry Trotz. Now, Adam, should we bring up that tweet I sent you last night? Because I think considering that tweet and what Mike Babcock could do, like I don't necessarily agree with everything Mike Babcock did, right? The Mitch Marner thing, I think, crossed the line. Mm-hmm. But I think he can give a team a kick in the ass.
Yeah.
Right? So let's read. Let me read. This is from Michael Russo, because everyone, like, that guy in Minnesota, this is like the Elliot Friedman of Minnesota.
Yeah, probably like the best beat reporter in the world right now for hockey, at least.
Yeah. So he was on the Russo Hockey Show. I think that's part of The Athletic. Well, I mean, the stories from inside the bubble about the Caps basically turning it into a vacation, having pool parties and things like that. You pretty much knew that they had no interest in being there.
That's amazing.
That's funny. That kind of proves the point I was gonna say, that when they got rid of Barry Trotz, they went back to that kind of free-flowing kind of offense. Mm-hmm. That like let the guy skate, let Ovechkin create the space he wants, and like, I agree that I think they need someone there now to kind of reel them back in to what Alex says about what Mike Babcock can do, like the kind of figure he is. It'll give them more stability. Definitely not something that I don't think their offensive guys are gonna probably take to right away. I remember that also happened with Adam Oates when he was there, and Trent Hunter.
Isn't it Dale Hunter?
No, Dale Hunter. Sorry, too many Hunters. And yeah, I think that could be like this. Yeah, there could be the same pattern going on right now, and it worked with Barry Trotz there. Like, they won it.
Do you think it's the actual hockey itself? Because I don't necessarily think I watched the Washington Capitals and said that would be the downfall of the Washington Capitals. Right? Like, I didn't see an issue with how they played. Like, I think Ovechkin was like Ovechkin. Like, I think the way Todd Reirden coached them seemed to work for the Washington Capitals until the playoffs, apparently. But off the ice, when you hear something like that, and I think, okay, would Barry Trotz let that happen? I'd have to think no.
No, yeah.
Just my first thought. I don't know if you guys would agree or disagree with that. And you look at the names that they're throwing in there for who's the coach. I don't think Peter Laviolette would let that happen. I don't think Gerard Gallant would let that happen. And I most definitely don't think Mike Babcock would let that happen. And I think I'm not surprised something like this came out, because the GM, as soon as Todd Reirden was fired, the GM said, we're going to go back. We're going to bring in a veteran coach. And now that that's come out, it all connects. Like, it connects the dots to me. I don't know about you guys.
I would hope that any self-respecting coach would kind of reel in his players. And I think that's also the fault of the GM to kind of set, like guys, I completely understand that being in the bubble probably sucks. Listen, I hate to bring it up again, but I'm getting my jaw surgery on Friday. Mm-hmm. And like, I'm supposed to be in the hospital for, I think it's like 2 days, and I can't have anyone come to visit me, right?
Sorry, man, we can't
visit that's you. Gonna suck. Yeah. And I can't imagine what it's like for these guys. Like, we're going to get some news about family members in the bubble in a second here, but like, I get being in the bubble blows, and like probably the best thing they're able to do is go to BMO Field and play frisbee. But I mean, remember the trouble that, and this is funny about Laviolette. I can't remember if he was the coach at the time, but Nashville when it was like Radulov and Kostitsin got in trouble for partying the night before the game. I mean, like, I love Ovi, I love Kovalchuk, I love all those guys. Kuznetsov looks especially bad in this too, because you know what happened earlier in the year with this.
Alleged instances, yeah.
It was video proof.
The league suspended him. I think it's past alleged.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, it's just it's shocking. I laughed at it because it's just so shocking to see. But I really do hope the Caps, and it's terrible to say this when Ovechkin's like nearly mid-30s. You really hope they kind of learn from that and like take it a bit seriously because again, this is the playoffs. People fight. You know, I look at some of the faces of the guys who lost. Like Nathan McKinnon when the Avalanche got eliminated, the look on his face was like dagger twist. You can tell it hurt.
Thatcher Demko.
Yeah.
That guy looked devastated.
Mm-hmm.
And he played 2 games.
Do you think the Capitals got complacent? Like they're like, we've won before, we could do this again, and they didn't have that hunger.
Who were the Islanders? You think maybe that happened when they faced the Carolina Hurricanes as well? They got their cup, they're fat and happy. Ovi scoring 50 goals still. Maybe Mike Babcock is the answer.
Maybe Ovechkin's not the leader we thought.
No. That's a fair point.
Hey, like you can't I think Daniel makes a really good point. You can't let that happen. If you're the captain of this team, like if you want to win a cup, listen, Ovechkin he has a personality and he has a very big voice on that team. If he doesn't want that to happen, that won't happen.
Mm-hmm.
You can't have a Stanley Cup hangover for 2 years.
Especially after the way they celebrated that first win. I want to see, I'm excited to watch actually the Alex to OV series once it's all good because man, there's a fascinating player in Alexander Ovechkin.